After 57 years, the Deep Space Horizon has finally been found. You are an up-and-coming space junker wanting a piece of the prize. The only problem is, you are not alone. While you are scavenging scrap, you have to watch out for rival junkers looking to steal your loot, a rogue security bot patrolling the corridors, and in the maintenance shafts there might be an alien or two. Today we are looking at Space Junkers, an up-and-coming Gamefound campaign from Next Dimension Games. It's a 2 to 6 player game, 30 to 40 minutes, and designed by Mark Prentice. Before we begin with the rules, it's worth noting that this is a prototype copy and both the rules and the components may change before the final release. So in Space Junkers, you are a scavenger searching abandoned freighter Deep Space Horizon for valuable salvage. The player who earns the most victory points at the end of the game wins, of course. At the beginning, you will need to put the main player board out and then build the ship. The ship is held together with these support straps that go on the sides, and then there is 2 tubes that go in the middle, making up the elevator shafts, but also supports the front end of the ship. You will then place a scrap on each section of the ship. It is divided up by these orange lines. Each section holds 1 piece of scrap, except for the alien nest, which has 2, plus it also has the alien, and then there's also the inactive robot security bot that stands at the front bottom of the ship. Each player will get their own player board, a token, their pawn, and 3 custom dice. They can also have a mission card if you choose to use that alternative. When all players are ready, you begin the turn. Everyone rolls their dice and they secretly pick one of their dice to use, then place it on their board. Once everyone has chosen a die to use, you all reveal, and then the first player starts taking their actions shown on their die face. This could mean moving with how many people are on their die face. Movement is simple, 1 space per compartment in the ship or 1 section of outer space. You can move up the elevator shafts to any level or down any level you choose, but you cannot move up and down in other sections. There is ways to enter the ship on the sides, on all levels on the side, with airlocks, front of the bridge and rear of the shuttle bay. You can pick up scrap using this hashtag symbol, but this hashtag symbol also allows you to have an extra move if you do not or cannot pick up scrap. You can move the alien 1 space with this action, up and down, side to side. It does not use the elevator shafts. And then you can also interact with systems that are on the ship, like the bridge allows you to steal scrap from another player. Medical bay allows you to heal reputation, and the engineering allows you to open all the airlocks, and everyone that is in a room with an airlock gets sucked out into space and loses their reputation. Combat is very simple. If you have a higher dice face value than the player that you are in the room with, you can attack them, doing them 1 damage to their reputation, and you gain in a reputation. And this is why this is kind of health, but it's called reputation. If you get punched by someone, you move your counter down. They move their counter up, so they would move up to 300, and this is for scoring at the end of the game. So if I get attacked again or take some kind of damage again, it moves it down again. And what this means here is, instead of rolling 3 dice each turn, I now only roll 2 dice. So my choices are limited. And then if it moves down again, I only roll 1 dice, even limiting my choices even more. So you can repair, you can heal yourself by going to the med bay, which is here. And you can also, if you are in the D1, the D2 or the minus D1 section, you can use this free. This allows you to move yours out of, move up 1 here, and then if you get it again, you can move out. But if you've got a D1 and you're in this position or up here, you can't move it. It is just to get you out of the D1 section. Each player will take their turns using their die face. At the end of each person's turn, you will draw up an event card. These event cards, it can be anything from nothing happens to oh shit.
It was a perfect plan! And it got turned like this in a table and it swings on and I got crushed!
This is where the security bot can become activated. If the security bot is activated, the first player of each round moves it 2 spaces, and any player it comes across in its path gets 2 damage to their reputation. Throughout the game you can complete these mission cards. Again, these are optional, you do not have to play with them, but I do play with them every game because they just add an extra element to it. And most of them are, you enter a room, you've achieved objective, you place a marker on your board. You do the whites in any order that you like, and then the red one is one that is always done at the very end. They are quite thematic and they do add a little bit extra to the game. The game ends when either all the salvage has been collected or when the event deck runs out. Players will then continue until everyone has had their last turn in that round, and then you will total up all your points earned from collecting salvage to completing missions and other bonuses like your reputation. You might lose points, you might gain points. The player with the highest score is crowned Galaxy's greatest scavenger. Okay, let's talk about the large elephant, alien elephant in the room. It does carry a lot of similarities to a certain other game like Co-Express. To be honest, Mark does not hide away from the fact he does, when you sit down and play the game with Mark, the designer, he does say that he takes inspiration from Co-Express. He takes the good bits he likes from it, and then he changes the bits that he doesn't like. So let's look at the similarities that you've probably all been looking at and thinking of. Yes, it uses a 3D centerpiece with multiple levels where characters move up and down trying to pick up loot that is hidden with a value on it. It's the same. Yeah, there's no difference with that. There are NPCs that move around and scupper your plans, interfere with your plans. There are events that occur that also can scupper your plans, and it's also you can attack each other player, causing setbacks and gaining rewards in the long run. So they're the main things. You might have picked up other things, I can't think of any others in the back, but where does it differ? A big 3-level ship that is static. It doesn't change size or how many rooms it has in it depending on the player count. It is always the same ship, it's always static, which means not only can players move up and down in the 3 levels or side to side in the many compartments, but they can also EVA around this ship. So you've literally got 3 dimensions going on of movement, which is the event deck system. Is you randomly turning the card over after your turn, and there could be something or there could be nothing. It is always shuffled randomly. There is a few cards that are stacked in different halves, or set in different halves of the deck. They also randomly shuffled and could come out at any point in those halves, but again, most of it is random and is not that linear compared to others. Combat is more direct. So as I said, as I explained, you with your dice selection more or less manipulate your turn to say, right, okay, I've got a stronger dice than this person across from me, I'm going to walk into their room and punch them in the face. And that's it. In the other game, you have to rely on that you're in a room with someone or you're adjacent to someone to be able to attack them from what you've got. And sometimes it's not always right moment that occurs and can feel like a bit of a wasted turn. So there's a difference. What I do like is out of the game is that the centerpiece is amazing. I mean, a 3D train was quite cool. This is now exceptional. And you might look at the tubes, which are the elevator shafts, are actually still quite a part of the game because it holds up part of the game. So even though they're kind of aesthetics, they are also structural. So it's quite cool, and you can purchase these little ball LED lights that can drop into the tubes and just bring a little bit more kind of flair to the game. That's quite cool. I didn't have them in this one. And it's what draws people in. Centerpieces draw people in. When I went to UK Games Expo last year, 2025, and I haven't even heard of the game. I hadn't even heard of the company until I walked past a small stand, but this was the most prominent thing on it that they were touting, and it instantly, whoa, what is that? I've got to try and play. Unfortunately, I was too late to get a game there and then, but this year I did manage to sit down and have a good chat with Mark about it, and this is what led to me doing the review of it, because I played it, instantly enjoyed it, and so here we are now. The fact that it is also static and you move around is also a real benefit as well. It gives you more options and more kind of tactics and strategy of doing it. Turn structure is better, I believe, in many sense. The problem with Cult Express is that because you are programming your movement on your turns in a big deck, communal deck of cards, someone's card before yours could really have a butterfly effect on not only your turn but other people's turn, and just throw it all out. And when it comes to actually revealing your card, you're not in the right place, or then something's not in the right place and nothing pops off, and it just kind of like feels like it's a wasted turn. Where this, because you have these fantastic chunky dice custom, and you roll and then you pick, and when it comes to your turn you decide how you play that dice out. And sometimes you might not be able to use all the effects, but at least you'll be able to do something on your turn, and you might gain or you might not gain from it, but at least you'll be able to do something on your turn, and it won't feel like a wasted turn. The event deck is quite cool. I really like it, how it does. It is a shuffled deck and it does differ each turn. I hope in a way that when the campaign comes out, and I know nothing about it, that they introduce more event cards to it, because there could be a point where people get a bit kind of bored, because it will be the same cards that come around and around again. So they need probably to just shake it up a little bit with adding, I don't know, six event cards that could be put in a deck. 6 are removed randomly, and then you form the deck. That just shakes up a little bit, just keeps people a little bit more, okay, might not know what's going to happen, this card might not come out again. The asymmetrical characters are great. Everyone loves asymmetrical player powers, and this does this in droves. I will say I don't feel that they're balanced well. There is one character that's really weak and there's one character that's really strong, and it does get cited quite a lot when I play with people, and they get disappointed with the weak one, and they're like, whoa, this one seems a bit too powerful. And as I said, the rules always change and they're always tweaking them, and maybe this is something they need to consider that needs to be tweaked in the future. But that being said, not every game is perfect. And mission cards, I did like the fact that this little bonus, this little added in bit, and it does say it's optional. I have never played without them. I think it should be part of the game, but it's optional that you give each person a mission card, and they're really simple to do. Get to this compartment, then get to this compartment, then go to this where the robot is, and then defeat the robot with this, with a powered 6 die, and that's all you need to do to score 800 points for the end of the game. Not all of them are different. There is one that is just purely combat, inciting combat, but they're different, and it just adds a little bit extra to the game. So overall, Space Junkers, I think it is different enough to other games to make it its own. The fact that it's gone sci-fi, that appeals to people that like sci-fi genre. There's always constant interactions, the multiple levels of the ship and the dynamic of moving around it. Unique characters, the mission system is cool. All of it I like. The player, depending on the number of players, does change how the game plays. If you're playing with 3 people, it's a bit of a cat and mouse kind of game, because you've got more space to move around and you can just get on with what you're doing. When you've got 5 or more, that turns into a bit more of a knife fight in a phone box kind of thing, because everyone's on top of each other and you've really got to watch out for who's coming for you in that lane. But I think that adds to it kind of thing. So editing this video, I realised that I haven't spoken about the 2-player game. It's not much different. Each player picks 2 characters to play with, and they play with those characters, collecting as much scrap, scoring as many points as possible, and at the end of the game, the person with combined score wins the game. And that's as simple as it is. It is a different game. It does vibe differently, but it's all the same rules. Some of my favourite moments have come from either using the alien movement, or the alien movement just really scuppers people, or it can be an advantage to you, or just one of those things that you think, oh, I'm out of like one movement away from here, and actually I can still do it if I do this and I do that, and you can kind of combo a lot of things that actually might work for you. My wife Claire seems to do that really well, actually. It doesn't outstay its welcome. It does roll on and gets to that line of it's going to cross it and then it's outstayed its welcome, but it hasn't felt like that. It's just been enough. And most of the time, the end of the game is usually when the deck runs out, not when all the scrap has gone. So you can see the timer, you can see, we got 1 round left. It's not always finished when all the scrap's gone, because more scrap can be introduced to the game. So it is mining the event deck running out. Plenty of room for expansions, just like Colt Express and other games. I'm hoping that they'll be open to more expansions. I mean, I'm brewing with expansion ideas for this. So yeah, there's fingers crossed. So it comes to the fact, would I back this? Yes, of course I would back this. This is different enough to the other game, and I think it might work better for younger audiences, because you haven't got you've got the dice, and young kids like everyone likes rolling dice, but it's not reliant on, okay, so you've got to program what you want to turn on your turn, but it could change when the car flips around, so you might not always do it, and that can be quite frustrating for youngsters. So doing this, where you're rolling the dice, and when it comes your turn, it's like, I'm not quite where I want to be, but I can now use this and do this, and gives them a bit more advantage. So I think teaching for youngsters and family members that don't play a lot of games, this could be a better alternative. Plus also, some people like a sci-fi better than they like a western, and things like that. And yeah, it's definitely one that could sit there, possibly improve with time when expansions come out. So yeah, definitely a back for me. Definitely would back this game. So yeah, go along to the Gamefound page and back Space Junkers and bring it to life. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. You can also scan the QR code in the bottom corner for our podcast and our Discord channel. As always, huge thanks to everyone that supported us. Until next time, I've been Joel. Now say bye, honey.